must find your people. Okay? I had the most amazing time this morning in community with one powerhouse of a farmer and Mr. Joyner out of Canita, a little old small town called Canita, who has an amazing farm down in the town of Bethel and training people all over the state, apprenticeship programs, children growing food, families growing food, churches growing food. Just had an amazing time. I met a lot of great people, and I'm truly excited because, they were there just as I was to share the thrill of farming, and being in the agricultural space and bringing our own individual talents to the table that we might be able to build strong food security in our communities. The agricultural space has been a space that has been not necessarily where we show up, the way that we need to for our families. And so I'm challenging you to get started. So let's talk about why it's so important. So, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Dr. Eve. I am a community health and human service educator. I have been in the space of corporate academia and healthcare for more than 30 years. I run strong nonprofit entities since 2001, and in my retirement, I decided to farm, like really farm, like turn my estate property into a mini farm. What does that mean? That is, a farm is something where you create enough products to at least sell $1,000 of it per year to be considered a farm by the USDA. Now, do you want to make more? Absolutely. But let me tell you something about this space. It's not just something you learn overnight. You learn by trial and error. You learn through education. You learn through your network opportunities with people like Mr. Joyner, who has done it and gotten it right and has networked, and just amazing. So when I say that no matter what season you are in, you must find your people. You must find your people because you are stepping outside of an old season and into this new season of agriculture, and the other folks in your old season may not even be interested in agriculture. So while your work continues, my work continues as a health and human service educator, my focus shifted, right? And that happens as you step into and out of different seasons in your life. And so I am excited. I met some wonderful people this morning at breakfast, networked with my city, networked with the farming industry, networked with people who are trying to farm, networked with, other beautiful talents and individuals in the space, and people who are truly interested in farming. So why is that a good space for me to be in? Because I farm, right? And so it's a good space because now people know that I also farm. I am actually what I would say, he wouldn't know this, but he's actually a mentor to so many of us because we have been on his farm. We have seen his work. And so we know what's possible. And so we also study and go by the principles of why we should be having our own food as an organization, right? As families, as individuals, right? Why we should be building, and if each one teach one to take care of each other's land, then we have all done our part as it relates to building a strong alliance, building a strong home economy, and helping others to do the same. Now, I hadn't always raised chickens. That I'm 1 year in with 100% success rate. amazing. Do you hear me? But one of the things, when I try to do something, I'm going to try and do my absolute it with excellence. And that means I'm going to study to show myself approved. Whether that's from going to get used books to understand, whether that's going to classes to understand, whether that's getting connected with my cooperative extension to understand, I am going to engage in the process, in the space where my people are, who can teach me what I need, right? So it was so beautiful, y'all. I am home now. The bees are here humming around, and of course we talked about everything from pollinators to types of types of planting. Many people want to plant and farm, but they don't know how. They have a particular, space, and I've done it in all spaces. I also farm in, I grow food in bags, in pots, in windowsills, in greenhouses. This is a greenhouse, but I have an inside greenhouse. I have a patio greenhouse. I have towers. I have bags. I have planters. I have in ground. I have out of the ground. It's just trial and error, and what you have to do is just keep trying, right? And you will find the people in your network who can help you, like your cooperative extension. I see my good friend Tanisha up there today, who is a canning expert in food science. She's really amazing. And so it's like, you have to find your people in your new season. You have to find your new people. And one of the things I want you to remember, I just did a video the other day where I said it's okay to say no if it doesn't line up with your future self. Why am I mentioning that? Because one of the people that I met there is into politics and policy and things of that nature, and he said he needed me to get back into the space so that I can bring my expertise. But the bottom line is, I have to have boundaries. Remember what I said. It's okay to say no if it doesn't line up with your future self, because you will get thrown off. If you're going to do policy, understand in agriculture, then fight for agricultural policy, environmental policy. Understand those policies, because those policies will affect what you do, right? So it will affect your soil, it will affect your water, it will affect your air, your climate. So you do want to know those policies and stay engaged and understand what's happening in your town, right? Because remember, gardening and farming is a zone thing, right? It's different for all of us depending on where you live. It's very different. And so one of the things you want to do is make sure that, I said, I've done my 30 years in policy. I've done my 30 years in politics, and teaching young people how to serve, right? And so I'm not interested in that anymore per se, but I am definitely sticking to the policy that matters to me in this time. So it's okay to say no, y'all. Remember that while you're networking, remember that you don't want to overbear yourself. You don't want to find yourself pulled away from the thing that is very important to you, right? And so that's another thing. So anyway, don't want to beat that horse too bad. I just wanted to mention that because that did happen, and I was okay with saying I can't do that because I have retired and this is what I'm doing now, and I can consult you in the area of policy if that's what you need, because you can serve in that way, but you pick the way you want to serve, right? You get to choose and design what that looks like for you. And that's all I have today, y'all. I am working on hey there, Kia. I am working on my planter boxes, getting them sanded down today so that I can paint them, and I'm going to build a couple more planter boxes for the back end of the garden, because you can plant. You can put a lot of things in the garden. My thing is going vertical now. I've gone out and still a whole lot of space in the back part of the garden, but that ground is a lot harder and solid. So I am really working on figuring out what I can do, even if it's planter boxes. I know how to build them now. So, hey, let's build some potato. How about I could do maybe some root crops back there because you know what? That's really hard to grow here, right? So I could build I could build some planter boxes and put potatoes in there and carrots in there and beets in there, because they could be in their own space. The planter boxes are literally 6 by 11 and a half by 13 and a half. Very easy to make. I made it in one day. I mean, like 1 hour, I made a box. So I still have a bunch of wood still left. I'm going to plant out some on the side of my vista in the backyard. And whatever I have left, I'm going to build like I said, some boxes to do some root vegetables because I do want to have root vegetables. And the ground back there is so solid that perhaps I won't have the problem of moles and voles, right? Because in backyards you can have that as a problem. Well, I have ran them off pretty much, uh, and I am excited. And every day, and I said to myself when I got back, I said, I'm uh, a little tired today. It's Thursday, and it's usually my R&R day because this is my art day. This evening, I go to art class, and I'm really in my creative era. I'm in my creative era, and so and taking part of taking care of myself is exercising, eating right, and finding pleasure in creating, right? Creating and designing and all the things that we have the talent to do. And so we must again find your people, stick there, find more people, find the events that matter to you, go network and be a part of your community where you need to be, right? So that is the most important thing about finding your people in this time. I'm Dr. Eve, everyone. I am your health and human service educator, author, researcher, and speaker, and I love doing what I do. And so, if this is good to you, then please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you on the next video. Bye for now.